Jesus, I bow before the throne. When I look at all the wonder and I see all the creation, the beauty of the universe, you never, never change. You never, never lie. You never, never change. You never, never change. Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hallelujah. 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 Hey, hey. Hallelujah. Hey. Give hallelujah. Hey. God is great. Hallelujah. Hey. Give him the highest praise. Hallelujah. Hey. Give him the highest praise. Hey, hey. I'm not afraid, Jehovah. I'm not worship, Jehovah. It is of the prison. Come the prison. It deserves everything. Oh, the worshiping. Oh, he gave me life. I will praise his name. I'm here to praise my God, oh, because he gave me life. Come celebrate, come to play, come to worship him. He deserves the praise. Hallelujah, giving the higher praise. Hallelujah, giving the higher praise. Hallelujah, giving hallelujah, the higher praise. Hallelujah, giving the higher praise.
Cousin Photo and Video Production is a cousins team who provide photo and video coverage for various occasions. We are weekend freelancers who have been in the event service industry since 2006. We provide all digital services using digital SLR cameras, 3CCD, HDV, and 4K camcorders. Our style in photography is journalistic and straightforward. We document the event as it unfolds, capturing the most important moments of your life. We produce a video in which all the vows are clearly heard. And at the hotel and reception hall, we may interview all the bridal party, including some guests, each getting to say something personal to the bride and groom on their wedding video. We produce videos that blend the traditional with contemporary, remaining faithful to the classics.
Okay, let's get the program going. So it's a little bit after 12 here, 12:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be having a conversation here to very quickly, as we usually try to do, as long as in the interest of the country, our people, and all of you. We want to welcome all of you this morning, wherever you are. Thank you so much. As we said, Liberia Public Radio is a network for all, the elite, the unprivileged, the underdogs, as you politicians will call them. But we strongly feel all voices, everyone's voice, as a Liberian, especially when it's in the interests of our people, and there's something to share with our people. We always try to do that to get a share. I will be talking to a young lady here this morning, afternoon, my evening. I was in Liberia. It's in the Vanguard. We had a conversation before, but there is a big campaign. What is the essence of that campaign? Madam Robertson is standing by in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. And I'm going to be bringing her on here very shortly. I am Alphonso Zean, so with this special edition. Stay tuned. Good evening to Liberia. Good afternoon, right here in the USA and other parts of the world. Violence is all over the place. How long can we go with this talking point? Why these people are not listening to what is in their ears? Do we need to get some sort of surgery going on? Non-musicians, young, old, everyone is crying foul. Directed at who? Probably the national government. Or what are we doing right? Let me bring in Madam Robertson. Olive Robertson is is in the vanguard, and we are hearing going to be having a major campaign, the essence of that, and why she's doing that. Let me bring into Madam Robertson here very quickly for us to have this conversation here. She's standing by in Liberia. Here we go. Let me just bring her on here. Okay. So let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let me get this going. Okay, good. Okay, Madam Robertson. Good afternoon in Liberia, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's in the afternoon.
It's in the afternoon. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing great, and you?
Fine. Okay, try to find a place to be well situated so that we know what we are having here. Okay,
Okay.
I know it's good to be being a little while, so but it's good to see you. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. It's been a
Uh,
while, like you said, but we are grateful, yeah, to be back to speak to our
mm.
people. Yes.
Okay, to speak to our people. Look, we have talked this thing over and over, and it seems no one is listening or no one cares God for all, everybody for themselves. You're not tired of having this conversation. Why? And what do we need to talk about today that we have not talked about for which you're going to resonate at this time?
Okay, so thank you once again for affording me and my team the opportunity to speak on SGBV in relating to our one-day campaign that is to be held in the Nukutam Belt on Wednesday, April 20th.
Okay, so what going to be the point of conversation there?
Okay, the point of conversation is domestic violence, sexual harassment, and you have child abuse in labor. We are going to be speaking from this point of focus because we have observed in Liberia that domestic violence, especially on SGBV, have taken a rampant pace. And then we see advocates, we see advocacies going in these lines, but yet and still, it seems that our people are not actually getting the message very vivid. Yeah, so we as young people, as we have grouped ourselves under the banner of BOTO, that is Building Our Tomorrow Charity Network, as one of our charity services to humanity, we have decided to reach out to our local people to host local symposiums and summits. Maybe they can understand from our local speaking or English grammar, yeah, what we mean say no to SGBV, yeah, what we mean to say no to rape, what we mean to say no to sexual harassment, sexual abuse, what we mean to say no to child labor. So we selected the Nicotan belt as per our survey where these things happens within Morovia because we are residing in the nation's capital. We chose Nicotan, we met with the leadership, we talked to them, look, we have observed, we have heard, we have seen, but then instead of sitting back and just taking the social media to
Mhm.
do our awareness, yeah, we have decided to this time around to meet the local people, to sit with them, to dine with them, to explain to them, to be explicit in our ethical messages, if in relationship to SGBV, that look, we cannot continue to do it in violence. We cannot continue to beat on our wives. We cannot continue to harass the students for better grades. We cannot continue to harass the females if they go to get a job for a better living for themselves and their families. We cannot continue to take away their pride by sleeping with them. We cannot continue to see the women in the homes, our wives, as only home takers, as only caretakers, but we can also empower them. If we empower them educationally, we believe that the home will not be run one-sided, but then you're going to have two masters running a home where you will find out that the burden will not only be on the shoulder of one person, but another person is bringing, and one person is also taking care of certain needs so that the home will run in a suitable way that everyone going to be happy and you will not have a home where confusion is every time the man will come home late and then if you go to talk, don't mind you, there are other people who are very busy, yeah, because of that surgery. They don't actually go home on time. But
Okay.
sometimes other males that stay off home very late, you tend to understand that the stress, the burden, they are too much. What am I carrying home today? If I go home again, I'm going to meet that woman there with my children haven't eaten and they don't even have clothes to wear, the children's school fees. And so sometimes because of this stress, we have some of our fighters taking in alcohol. Sometimes it is not their pleasure, but because the burden is too much, so we want to come down to the level of our people to tell them sometimes the reasons why we see our fighters, our husbands, our brothers staying out late is not only because of maybe
So,
yeah, more
okay,
than yeah,
let me stop you a little bit here. You're getting quite interesting here. I was about to ask why Nikutan, but I cleverly and well positioned you outline. When you say per survey, what did the survey tells you about Nikutan for which it becomes a target point?
okay, like as per my survey and what we observe, like Nickertown within the Morovels belt, I think we have West Point, we have Nickertown. These areas are most often considered yeah places of little yeah places of little accordance in terms of sexual gender-based violence and domestic abuse. These places are considered as slums communities. I'm sorry to say, but as per my survey and as per my team survey, these places are considered slums communities. And most often in the slums community, you will find out that these programs barely goes there. So children, women, men, girls within those settings, I mean, do things according to what they feel, what they think. Yeah, according to what they think and what they feel. So any make it does come up and sorry to say, but rape a child or a girl because maybe the surrounding is maybe a little bit too fast up together and people are not really getting welcome to these educations or to the causes and effects pertaining to these things. So we chose that side. We chose Liquid Town because we feel that there are people in Liquid Town, though others call it a slums, but I think good things can also come out of there. So these things can only happen if you go to these people, you dialogue with them, you know their problems, you know their reason, and then so you cannot solve it all,
No,
yes, but
know their
I think
pro.
you can educate them.
Okay, knowing the problem and finding solution to the problem, that's a
Yeah,
different thing. But let me just backtrack for the better clarity on the part of my audience because we have had a conversation before
yeah,
and before. How long
yeah.
do you, as a young person, being involved in this yet? Where is the strength coming from?
Okay. Well, like for the last time we spoke, and I told you, so in doing these things, in running our programs, we do letters, communications to renowned persons, and then we text among ourselves, and then we come back to the public because we cannot do it all by ourselves.
Come
Yeah,
back to the public. What are you getting and what are you hearing from the public?
we come back to the public to ask for fundings in any way and manner they think they can help, whether to support through a moral
Mhm.
means to
Yeah.
connect
Mm.
us, whether
Mhm.
to support through a financial means to say,
Right.
okay, I'm going to deposit this
Okay.
amount yeah as a contribution to your
Yeah.
activity. Yeah.
So is your organization, is it known by the GO elders, the government of Liberia, or maybe the Ministry of
Okay,
Gender?
so we did our article of incorporation. So we are now BOTO Incorporated, building out a
Mhm.
charity network, and then we are left with notarization, and then to have sectorial clearances from the Gender Ministry
Mhm.
and from the Ministry of Labor, because we also run programs on human trafficking, which is becoming one of the greatest nightmares within our environment.
Greater Nightmare. This campaign that your group is embarking on for the borough of Cruton, that's it's a very strategic one because it's good to go out there to the people, sit with them, understand their problems, see where they are coming from, and not just only hearing. So, Is the Ministry of Gender and other relevant agencies of government responsible to oversee all of these things that we are talking about? Is there sort of invitation out to them to be part of the program? And if so, what is their feedback?
Okay, yes, we have written the gender ministry
Hmm.
like once year, informing them about our programs and what we are involved with, and then we got a response that we have to get the sectoral clearance, yes, for gender ministry
For the
before they can be
sectoral,
able.
break it down for the audit, for the public sectoral clearance.
Okay,
What is
yes,
what does it
okay. So
entail?
a sectoral clearance is a paper, is a note that gave you the go ahead to run these activities. Yeah, what after you shall have had your article of incorporation. Yeah, so it make the ministry to partner with you. It make the ministry to recommend you to other bigger platforms to run programs.
Okay. So, what it requires to attain that?
Okay, so the way to obtain that is after you shall have gotten your notarization and your organization registration, then you go to pay for it. I think it's cost $50 United States. You got to pay for it.
Okay. Oh wow. So, it's not nothing free anyway. Nothing,
Yeah, yeah, nothing.
nothing free in everywhere. So, what is your anticipations on this here? It comes this drive that you are about to embark on. What is your anticipation? What do you hope to get out of it? Yeah, you have been on this for quite a long while here. What do you hope to get out of it?
Okay, so my anticipation as relates to our campaign, especially in Town and other program this year. Well, we have heard, we have cried, we have seen domestic violence all over the place, and we as young people are saying most often we are the ones suffering from these things. Yes, especially we females, we are the one experiencing the marginalization, we are the one being abused, we are the one being raped, we are the one being put behind at the back side while the male counterparts are at the front. So this year, yeah, my expectations and hope is that as per our campaign and survey all through Monrovia and maybe outside of Monrovia in the rural belts of Liberia, we can maybe by 20% be able to achieve or Liberia that at least or at most will be 50%, or maybe let me say again 20% violence free, in that the female counterparts to the male will be given equal opportunities, yes, to
Okay.
participate both on local and international platforms and
You,
activities.
you know the tradition of this network. We always find a common grounds to engage with our audience. Some of them there's been expressed through phone call, tweet on the live feed. This is one of
Yeah.
our prime time followers, River says Pro. I always listen to him. He's one of those that against this violence. But this is what he's saying. May advocate alone isn't good to help. You need programs initiated for those, example, sewing, baking, and other things that will rehabilitate them into society. That is
Okay.
making people, that's part of, I want to make a guess here, that's part of the components of the empowerment. But another thing that comes to mind, does she or the organization have the resources to do that? We have
Yeah, very
million
true.
advocates inside Liberia, in the US, collecting funds under the pretense of the people. At the end of the day, we don't see anything concrete in the sense that they do it and come back to the public and give a comprehensive report and say, these are the beneficiaries, and see the transformation that is taking place in their life. They assume they collect it, and they do whatever they want to do with it. And so you who don't give, I'm coming, you who don't give, when you even try to seek an inquiry, what becomes of this? Oh no, you don't put money in there where you want to know. But
So
the general
yeah.
concept is to benefit. So most of the good ones now too, they kind of like holding back the little nickel or dime. So is
Yeah,
this
and then
does he have a point first of all? Riverside Pro, does he have a point?
one thing I like to say is yes, like for what you're saying, there are so many advocacies. Yeah, there are so many groups. Yeah, on the banner advocacies for gender equality and against sexual sexual harassment, domestic violence. But then, like I'm nobody to judge actually because we are all human. But other people have their own way of running things, but for my organization, I think you as a person, yeah, you have been so good to us. You supported one of our initiatives called the Best Motivational Speaking Competition, and I send you pictorial evidence and you saw them. And that not also withstanding, we had a human trafficking campaign in Kakata, and I think I'm going to send you
Yeah.
the photos because we are a charity based institution. So at the end of every program, we do a charity donation. That is, we donate food and non-food items because we cannot
So
educate our
where,
own women.
where are they do a donation? Where do they go?
Yeah, to the less fortunate
Who
within
are they?
the
Who
within the
everybody
with,
seems to be Madam Robertson. So if you look at the country, everybody seems to be less fortunate. But I know there are people that are in desperation who really in need. So I want to know who are those special target group.
yeah. So if I say the less fortunate, we target the mute, the deaf, the blind, the
Mhm,
cripple,
mhm.
yeah, and we also contact the ovens, yeah, the ovens.
Okay, all right. Okay, so this program coming to execute program in Liberia, you have to have the funding. So where do you get your help from?
Yeah, that's what I said. We write communications to people, we tax them on ourselves, and that's how we are able to generate fundings for these programs.
You're right. And what are they saying to you now?
Yeah, we write and we are receiving, yeah, positive feedbacks from our letters, and some are promised until Monday.
Until month. So how much, what's the cost of this year? Is that a 1 day event or how many days, if I may ask?
Yeah, for this coming April 20th, it's a 1 day event. It's a 1 day event.
We're gonna come out of that 1 day.
Yeah, so we 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 we're gonna meet with these people and afterwards create our own network in Nukutam and where we'll be going. Yeah, every time we'll be going. Yeah.
Do you have a specific target group now that you're gonna meet, for example, for this uh gathering for Nikuta?
Yeah, so we are going to meet with the young people. Yeah, we are going to meet with the young people and then we have invited some men and women also, but our specific target are the young people.
Young people that is that strictly female?
The young people from Nukutam Belt.
Yeah, what I'm saying is strict, are they just only female you're gonna be meeting or a
They're gonna
combination
be both male and female.
both male and female?
Yeah.
Have you had a prior conversation for which it meets
Yeah. That's what
or
I sent you the first. We did. We have a prior conversation before.
are they willing to come forth? What are
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
not to get ahead of our shadow here, what are you hearing from them? Because hopefully after that we will, so please let me know when.
Yeah, so we met them, we spoke, and they are happy and they are expecting us on the 20th of this month by 10 o'clock to be there to implement their activities.
Is the Nikutan Bell? I mean, you don't like politics, business. I just want to know who that region there, who maybe is the district, I call it a representative.
They love me. Go, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, because the reason. But have you tried? Have you reached out to get a communication to the representative of that region where you're going to be having things? Because that's part of
Okay,
our
so I
job.
just,
This whole rehabilitation process, and the reason if you have not done that, it better late than never. Do it.
yeah,
Like, bro, man,
okay.
if they don't get somebody say, and I know they're not sending me invitation, but I'm quite sure it's happening. Something is going on. They need to also get out of their bags, get he or her who is the representative. That's part of their job to make sure these communities are safe and the young people that are there for far away. So what you are doing is you are adding up to part of his job to make sure that there's a safe environment. So I don't want him to, or he or her to have an excuse. Get here, say,
Yeah, it's true.
hey, I'm sorry, I never
No,
got
it's true.
through, or this is it. On put their honorable, they let their honorable business. If
Yeah,
they let their honorable, if you
yeah,
don't call
sure.
that, you forget it. They will not
Sure.
send you. Yeah,
Yeah, I would do so. I would do so.
your folks you have, they are just what, volunteering. How do you go about to move from point A to point B? How do you go about to get it done?
The programs, the
I mean,
fundings.
like you moving around, it requires transport. I know it is crazy. I was in Liberia.
Yeah.
So you take your own money you're supposed to eat on a daily basis, which of course is good. We will have to be at our brothers' keepers, brothers and sisters keeper, but that seems to be a tough one. Is
Yeah, it's a
anybody using a good judgment to
tough,
help out some days?
it's a tough decision, but then we say like I always believe in a quotation that says, "I'm sorry that I can call the person name because I've forgotten." But then there's a quotation that says, "Think not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." And then Mahatma Gandhi from India, yeah, I think humanity, if you really relate and follow his footsteps, I think he said humanity is the greatest gift here, humanity.
And that
So
one,
if you are,
that was John F. Kennedy. That was here. They don't worry about what you would do for the country.
yeah, yeah,
John F.
yeah.
Kennedy.
So
Oh,
I mean, we are sacrificing little of nothing, yeah, but I think we have to do it because yeah, so like someone may rightly be judging me now. Where is she getting all the fundings, or where are they getting the money from to do all this? But I tell you no lie, we have nothing, but it is the passion. Yeah, anything you want to do in this life, I believe once the passion is there, you can pursue it no matter what. You shouldn't just go contrary, but so with the passion, we write people and we continuously go to them and we continue to call them. We never get time. Yeah. Since indeed they are so busy that they cannot implement these things. So for us we made ourselves available to do these things, but since they have the cash value, we can take that cash value and render the services. Yeah. We don't have
do
problem with
you
that.
do you feel like giving up at times?
Huh?
Do you feel
Excuse
like
me?
giving up at times because of all of these hurdles?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm sorry, but sometimes it's crazy, sometimes like you want to quit. You want to quit the dream. You want to quit the inspiration, the innovation. You want to quit everything because you are a struggling student. You don't even have a fucking job. You don't even have any source of income. But then you see yourself with this burning desire for change. Yes, but sometimes you feel like quitting, but that is the sacrifice. Yeah, you have to make the sacrifices. You have to
how
make it.
long how long can you go with the sacrifice?
Okay, so like I'm believing yeah in God to continue making the sacrifice.
All right, just bear with us. The internet problem. Uh,
I
this
have a job. Yeah, I have a job. I can be able to maybe open up.
Okay, we having a little interruption there with Madam Robertson. So just bear with us. We will as soon the network gets improved, we'll do that. Let me see here. We're not going to be here for the long year, so let me just get her out here. And I'm quite sure River Pro, the number is out there. If you want to call, we're going to be wrapping up here very soon. So we're a little bit behind time in doing this. But it is why it is. Everybody in the Vanguard, the number is there. So Robert says Pro, just call and see. I know you're one of those on Sister Network across Africa and other folks. You guys are always having this sort of conversation here, and it is good. She's a young person and having this sort of conversation. It speaks volume as well. Alphonso Zean, so of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv, Madam Ty Robertson, Olive Robertson is in the vanguard of violence against society, sexual abuse, harassment, trafficking. I think more than 2 3 years or maybe way back we've been having this sort of conversation, and I'm kind of really encouraged to see what she's still doing. Yeah, the network is kind of bad, I understand. So she's trying to see whether she can come back there, but Pro, if you want to call in, just call and see. Okay, let me see here. Okay, Pro man.
Yes, I
Number.
so come to this program, you really got to put down.
What is that? Are you there?
Yeah, yes, I'm here.
Okay, I'm hearing you now.
Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Okay, you out here tweeting crazy, which is good. It's good to put this thing out there, and I know. Now, your first tweet and your second tweet came out having passion is one thing, implementation is another thing. What are you driving at? Hold on 1 second. I don't know what's going on here. Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Well, I'm not hearing you. Are you speaking directly in your phone? Okay, let's go try. Let's see.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said these things are not as easy to say as it's done. Myself, I have written several project proposals here in the United States. I had a passion to even open my own alcohol rehabilitation center, but the process wasn't easy. The implementation, all these different steps you got to go through, it hasn't been easy. And I kind of partially gave up already.
You give up?
Yeah, partially
because
I had a lot of friends, Mr. Soul, that went through addiction, and when I walk the street of Milwaukee where I live, I see so many, and there are just little treatment centers. So I was trying to have a place where these guys can come and spend time, and then yeah. But I mean, it hasn't been easy.
So where you were doing, is that in Milwaukee, you say, or in Liberia? Where?
Yeah, in Milwaukee, in my state. Yeah.
So how you are going about doing that?
Well, I used to help this one guy who he had his own center, so I used to go there and do little Bible studies. What he used to do, he used to take those guys from the prison, from the jail, those addiction people, those addicts. He bring them to the center, and then they stay there. Some of their own bracelets, instead of crowding the prison system with people who are non-violent offender, he work with the state. So they would, bring those guys on parole. They would stay at the center. We go there and teach them the Bible. Mr. So you won't believe that a lot of these guys have not even opened the Bible before, trying to tell them that, these addiction, all these five-star treatment centers, that's why people read that.
And I beat you talking about, open the Bible.
Yeah, but seriously, some of them, I work with
so they even know John 3:16?
Man, they don't even know Genesis. He talk about John 3:16. The other guy told me, he said he had never, he told me he never, seriously. I couldn't believe here in America, those things, So, I was trying to do it, Mr. Soul, but then, it had not been easy. The guy tried to help me.
I would find time to see here, as long as you're available. I believe we had, I don't know, I'm not sure whether we had this conversation to bring you out here, because I see one of the reasons now for which most of the time your talking point is moving in this direction, which is good. But you listen to this young lady, you here in America almost giving up. Everybody out there outside of America will come to the conclusion everything else that you need is here. And you hear the hearing Robert says Pro talking about giving up. Think about it, someone that is in Liberia. What she or her group needs to do in order maybe to get into the finishing point. She been in this thing. The young lady, she been in this thing for quite a while now, and I'm surprised to still see her to keep on doing what she's doing, what she needs to do.
Well, like I said from the beginning when I commented, I said male advocacy alone is not going to help, Mr. So that's a huge initiative. Yesterday I was watching this video of those people in Locketown, Mr. So I was devastated. Those women be doing drugs. Some of them uncompromisingly been doing drugs for 10, 15 years. They are crying for help. They want to get out of that situation. So when I listen to this young lady, you know, she's doing a great job, but she would need a lot of help.
Where is that? Need a lot of help. Where is that help? Where will it be coming from?
Well, the help, I don't know. She said she had rated several individuals. She need a right organization. I don't know if she is in the United States or
she's in Liberia. She's in Liberia.
Okay, which makes it more difficult because maybe she could get to some people once she got her ERC. You know, she got document to prove she can get help because I got friends who got their document. They got churches helping it. They got organizations helping it. So that lady, she would need maximum help. And, I don't know.
Yeah, so probably I can share her, you know, with this side to help. And the reason I don't just dip into people's way of doing things. I'm very much, I'm a free thinker and I like to make a good judgment. I have followed her for a little bit time now, a couple of years. I believe she took part in a competition to public speaking or something, and I think she came first. She been going to Ghana. I mean, to see young person. Don't you think these are the problems that we are having in society? And unfortunately, your politician, you guys politicians in Liberia, are not doing enough to empower to address this issue on a daily basis. All we hear is drama.
Yeah, that's true, Mr. So it's a pure disappointment when the government is not doing more to help the people. The government, like this young lady, look, why has she got to go through to even get documents? I mean, nothing is free. But once she come up with this initiative, people from the government, I don't know how many of those people she have met, like the gender ministry, like
in our last conversation, there are a lot of communication that I have from her representatives, senators. I mean, she's been aggressively getting this, and you listen to her, very good diction. She knows what she's doing. She's a good writer. She will be writing a lot of stuff. But I mean, it's the dream killers in that country is so much because people take advantage. Two, all of the officials, things that ordinary Liberians should be doing to empower, to be able to have their small businesses, be it non-for-profit. All the senators, ministers, and high-profile government officials, they are doing the same thing. It makes it more difficult. So as a result, that it also suppresses these people what they want to do. Yeah, you hear, if I'm a senator and around here selling coal, and you there, you want to do something to keep your family, who you think they're going to come to? Brand name and a lot of things factor in, they're going to come to you. So I see it as a challenge.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's a serious challenge because absolutely what you said, you know, it's a serious challenge because it's all about name brand, you know, about name brand where people go to people that, you know, that have that name recognition. You know, I bet they're looking at this lady now, people looking at her like, well, you know, she's trying to get people money to eat it because, you know, she's probably not a recognizable, you know, high profile figure.
Right.
Yeah, you know, which makes these kind of things difficult. Ordinary people like Mr. So, when we try to start a project, nobody, you know, we will be shut down real quick. It's like, oh man, you know, hungry man, like real simple way. Something like that, you know,
that's sort of stereotype. That stereotypes say, oh man, don't matter, man. I mean, you pay mortgage, you're more, you're looking for something.
Exactly. All these things, talking about credit card, talking about you won't open organization. You know that, like you said, those dream killers, stuff like that. If you don't have the mind, if you don't have the heart, that's why I listen to the lady Passion is good. Look, when Mr. So, you can have passion for something, but like you said, the dreams killer. There are people there that will kill your dream immediately before you even start.
Yeah, that's why most of the time, sometimes you want to do things. Don't seek too much of consultation with friends and people, because there are some there. By the time you tell them, they rather go chant over that man, it can't work. That woman, it can't work. Sometimes you got to be decisive and know who you share information with, because other people, they will not say, oh, okay, this is a good idea. How can I even help? How can I be part of this? I think this is a water cost. But some people, you tell them out front, well, man, don't waste your time, man. Well, you are please back. I beg you, let's find different lecture. But I don't know. This is a challenge that we have. The society that we have today is contaminated. And no, it doesn't matter who becomes president in the Republic of Liberia. If these basic human uh, the values are not observed, when you continue to have these impoverished people that seems to be rejected in society because of their past behavior, and we are not willing to give them second, third chances and stuff like that, and say, okay, well, they did it, so let them be on their own. Believe me, let them be on their own. When they can't find it, they come after you in the night, forcing your door open, getting over your roof. When you're standing up and they're there, they are barefooted, they don't even have a channel phone, button phone, and you get your iPhone Pro Max, they will slap the hair out of your ear and they will go with it, because they too, they want to see you. So are we doing enough intervention? I was going to be signing off here. I mean, her line is giving problem there, but we hope to do it. Do you think we're doing enough intervention to Riverside Pro as a people, as a country, as a nation, and those that are in charge? Are we doing enough?
No, we're not doing enough. We're not doing enough. Those people in charge, even we as ordinary citizens, we are not doing enough. There's a lot need to be done. Let me, Mr. So. Sometimes when I make the comparison, people say, oh, well, you're comparing apple to orange. If you notice here in the United States, most of these organizations that control these homelessness and other stuff, they are churches. That's why I noticed majority of them are churches. I know they get subsidies from the government. A lot of them are funded by the government, but individual churches over there and other organizations. The churches over there, I'm not going after them, but they are more about collecting offering from the people. They actually helping the people. They are getting money from the people. Yeah, seriously. Most of the places, they are church owned, they are organization owned. You don't see, very few of them owned by the state, but churches need to get involved. The role of the church is not just to collect offering or to have those tirade and revivals to get the number of people going there, for financial gain. They should be able to go in the community and be able to take one or two of these guys in and say, look, find something, ask these people, what's going on. But this is serious. We are not doing more. The government is not doing anything. Individual citizens are not doing nothing. The organization, the churches over there, the civics group over there, they're not helping the situation either.
They are ordained politicians. The days of Bishop Michael Bacala Francis, Brown, what his name? These other big guys. I'm not saying everything about them is perfect. But nowadays, all of these people, they more or less political now. Right now, somebody called me and said, "Man, you need to, the way you can be talking today, you need to open your own prayer line." Can you imagine? So I say, I rebuke you. The higher can destroy prayer line for what? So the higher can. So where am I opening prayer line to do what? So yeah, these are things people love. People sit down and right now, if I say I'm so person open prayer line, forget it. And people gonna come. They spend money on crazy things. Sometimes you talk to people 2 hours, 3 hours on the prayer line. I tell you, you don't buy salvation. Yesterday, Facebook, sometimes I can send people a reminder. To one of my friends, we used to work together, may his soul rest in peace. He died. It's like 8 years ago now. He died in Minnesota. All because of this prayer line, people leaving from here, going to Nigeria, going days, they're going for work. Or what kind of oil? Why you think that person that speaks to God, you can't talk to your own God? know, so, but it is what it is. Yeah, just let it. Maybe I would tell her because since you've been there, and perhaps to share your own personal experience. But she's been in this thing for a while, and it's hard. There are people, real people out there who wants to help, but again, people have collected so much from the one in this country and no result. People take it and use it any kind of way. No, they don't come back to the people to say, this is what we did. These are the beneficiary. We thank you. Nothing. And unfortunately, they have people who also justifies their behavior. So that makes it much more harder for us to have this sort of conversation, and that's the challenge.
That's the thing, Mr. So, it's like, before, it's like on the street, how they have these beggars on the streets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them really need the money. Some of them actually need the money, Mr. So, but there are some of them who want to use it for drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So at least in like, I know my pastor was preaching one time. He said, well, I went to this, not my pastor, but I went to this church. The guy said that these people that are begging, when you give them money, you are feeding their habit, you are facilitating their habit. But then, it put us in a situation like, when I see this one guy, Mr. So, I don't know, is he really hungry? Even though he got his son that said he's hungry. So, but then, why if I give it to the guy here, then he going to do, it's the same thing, like, bro, there are people who actually need it, like this lady, there are people who get it for, who need it thing for a better cause. But then there are people who have misused it before, so it made other people skeptical to put their money in there again.
All right. So what I will tell you? The Labrador parable, you want to eat dog, don't look in the ears of the dog. You want to give, just give. Use your own good judgments and good conscience and determine, can I give it? Can I give? But like you said, rightfully, there are some who just don't deserve, because that's just a waste of resources. Because what that does, you add more insult to injury. They're going to buy more drugs, take it, and the more they take it, the more they become deteriorated. But I think we need to find time, find time so we can also have here, like us here, LPR. Okay. I've said it here. We need to take this conversation out of the hands of politicians, because they are not having the conversation that we want to have. Look, see what is happening. Everybody's suing one another. So what time do you have Dawa Delon, where he needs Musa Belete Inco, Alexander Kume, ALP, Unity Party, and I mean, it's just a chaotic more than the Trump White House. That why it's happening. So I wouldn't be surprised if George, we are CDC, if the real step up their game, they will win it, because these people, they are not telling us what is supposed to tell us. They are all going to go into court suing one another simply because they want to grab power, and they are unable to address these critical issues that are facing. For the CDC, they are incumbent. Their justification is, okay, well, we have not completed our term, so we need more time. We need to buy more time. Whether they are doing more, they are doing enough or not, that's not it. But they have a grant. You who looking for that job, you need to step up your tax. You need to step up to the place and tell us and tell the Liberian people why these people should not retain position. But if you're running from court to court every day, what time do you have to tell me about your education plan, about your infrastructure plan, about your rehabilitation process, about your health? What time do we have to have that conversation?
Yeah, no time.
But man, I think we need to go on a trusteeship. I think that's the only solution, or maybe tell Jeff Bezos or get out of that place there for a little time and bring other people and do what they can do until we can go back. All right, my man. Pro man, thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, well, folks, that's it. Okay, Olive, we're very understandable. She's finding it very difficult to come back the network. These are some of the problems. Internet in this age, 21st century, that people can't have, and that's one of the things. I hope it's unfortunate some of these high-profile people, you reach out to them, they don't want to talk to people, that they choose where to go because their talking point only to be heard, and not those issues that are confronting ordinary librarian. It's like the internet. It reminds me of a student and daughter maybe in a whole month probably close to $75 internet. Why? Because they have to do assignments. So I'm wondering, these teachers themselves, are they also, or they just give it to the kids and then they tell their parents they got to buy their own internet to do assignment? What is the discussion, the Ministry of Education? What is the program with these internet providers? They have to create some sort of way. And I think I had a conversation with Professor Zawo here the other day. It needs to go further up, because there must be a way that when the children are doing their assignment, they have to do their schoolwork, there must be some sort of provisions or discount. I'm not talking about people going to do Facebooking and going on tip call or whatever it is. No. But when students, there must be some sort of regulation that the internet provider will know. If I'm doing the assignment, if the child is doing the assignment and leaves that assignment just to go on YouTube to watch crazy stuff, it should be shut out some kind of way. But these people, it is a burden, not even becoming a burden. It is a burden already. They have to do their assignment pretty well. Everything is on the phone. And when they are in the schools, they do not even have access to internet. But they expect them to have access to internet at home when there is no even stable current. Ministry of Education, the Moreira Consolidated School System, private schools, they call parents for PTA meeting. If you don't go, they fine you $200. All of these things. Well, folks, let's leave it here. Good luck to our. We can't decide our country. Our country is our country, but it's unfortunate that we have these politicians, and that's what I say. No one can advocate for me. I'm a grown up. I know my left from my right. Everything is done by perfection, but nobody going to tell me I will do this when there is no sign, there is no evidence, there's no political tolerance, when you are not even sensitive to the plight of the people. 2023 is coming. These same very people will be heavily rewarded again politically. And that's the saddest thing about it. They have people who will defend them, who will protect them, who will give justifications of their action. Even though the last 6-9 years, they're gonna catch up with time and overnight working to do it. The country, we ourselves, citizens, not just on the government, we ourselves needs heavy transformation. Everybody corrupt. America, people in America corrupt. People in Europe corrupt. People in Asia corrupt. Africa corrupt. So if we are corrupt, if we are not honest, how can you even hold? How can you hold your government accountable? See what is happening with these murder cases. I listened to that lady the other day on Spoon, and that just threw my whole day out. Yet we have 555 advocacy groups, organizations, women group. But where are they? Can they stand with one another, or is only by a selective method determined by themselves? Oh, this other name is an unknown name, a strange name. I just how the politicians can code and decode their colleagues. You're a stranger, you are this, you are that. So when you are a stranger, when people don't know your name, when you're dying, nobody give you a water to drink. Is that a society? And you come, you preach, you're telling your people can do this, they can do that, they can do that. Well, we will keep having this conversation, but like I said, it's time for us to direct the conversation. We need to take the conversation from the hands of the politician. They are unable to conduct the conversation. They are unable to speak to this issue, a more or less personality than the real issue confronting you, me, and the Liberian people. But they come in and just bluff. I'm the richest man. I do this, I do that, I got that. Where are they getting all of these riches? You give it to them, I give it to them, we give it to them. This young lady and her group, they are going to Newcretan tomorrow. Believe me, if we were to bring her back here and do a follow-up, the leadership or those in charge, because perhaps she's not a brand name, perhaps she's not within the hierarchy of any political party, but they're going to go there. Judgment is instantly rendered. As soon as they see you, they know your name, they see how you appear. We'll forget that one day. But as young as she is, for a couple of years now, she's been having this conversation. It shows some seriousness and authenticity. And that's what is key in today's conversation in Eric Mencken. Well, it's 1:42 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to leave it here. At some point in time, we're going to have her here again, and we'll have a conversation. Too much is ongoing. Folks, have a pleasant afternoon.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah to my Jesus.